You're watching the NMR Podcast Network. Chicken. Okay, guys, we are back after some technical difficulties. EJ will be on the show, but we also got Ryan Hinsey here as well. What's up, man?
Hello.
He doesn't know anything about hockey, which is what we're going to get talking about. But first, before we get into everything with the NHL, we have a special presentation here on the NMR Sports Podcast. Ryan, what do you think it is?
Biggie Mills burps.
No. Not.
Biggie Mills farts.
No. This guy.
Biggie Mills does good guitar solo.
Has nothing to do with me.
Oh. Well, I don't know then.
All right. We are giving you a special presentation of a flag football league in the area that I am from. And the name of it is the WFFL. So let's get that underway. That is our main topic for this episode. So we're going to get to that and then the NHL. So let's roll it. Wow. How about that action? That was cool action, huh?
That was great.
Yeah, great presentation there from the WFFL, the Wildflower Flag Football League in Exeter, Pennsylvania. You don't like
Who
them?
names their team Blue Jackets?
Oh, there you hear him, EJ.
Oh my gosh.
We got it. We got it. Let's go.
No
EJ is
way.
on the show. Let's hope it stays. Let's hope it stays.
Oh, God damn it.
Here he is. No lag this time. He is right here, guys. Here he is. Let's all give him a round of applause.
Terrible. So is Wi-Fi apparently in Dallas.
Yeah, he lives out in Dallas, Pennsylvania, not Dallas, Texas. Internet must suck out there.
Although I like the Dallas Stars, it's kind of conflicting, but we're all
Yeah,
good.
it's okay. All right. Well, we were talking about the teams. I asked Ryan. Ryan knows nothing about the NHL, so let's ask someone who actually watches the NHL. EJ here, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. So we're gonna talk about if the team could make a playoff push or not. Like, it's still early, but we're gonna do that. I did this on another episode with the different cast members. So we're gonna start off in the Metropolitan. Carolina Hurricanes. What do you think?
Carolina. Well, let me tell you something. This is a very odd situation because currently they sit at third in the Metropolitan Division.
Mhm.
Currently, they are on a 3-game losing streak, and I'll tell you right now, if they play in the way they're playing right now, I think they're going to slowly fall out of the playoff race.
Mhm.
However, I don't see that happening. I think the Hurricanes are going to make it.
I think so as well. All right. And next, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets. Ryan, I already went to Ryan with this, so now you're up. Columbus Blue Jackets.
No, not a chance.
Not a chance
Now,
at all.
Don't get me wrong.
Told you.
They do have a
Told you.
little bit of promise, but they're going to do what Columbus does every year. And when they don't make the playoffs, they're usually sitting in the middle of the pack, make a surge at the end of the year, and then die off at the
Exactly.
last second and miss the playoffs. I see that happening here.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right. Next, we have the New Jersey Devils. EJ, you can go first, EJ.
At the first part of the season, like at the first couple games of the season, I would have told you, yes, they're going to make the playoffs. However, now I see them and their true colors. Same story as last year. Very promising team, just underperforming and playing down to their competition.
Yes.
I say no.
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. They definitely play down in their competition, and they are a talented team. I don't know. They just can't put it together. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I
Right.
mean, you've got a guy like PK Subban. You've got
Yes.
they have a very young goaltender, and I don't think it's Blackwood anymore.
No, I don't think it is.
What is his name? I saw him on TV the other day. He made a great save, and I'm like, this guy can move, and he's very mobile. And let me tell you something, they are a very fast team, and you would know it more because you're a Flyers fan, so you see these guys more often than I do.
I do.
Pay attention to the Western Conference. But these are one of the more fast teams, very talented, got a lot of star players, and looking up in the future, but not right now.
I agree. Ryan, what do you think of New Jersey Devils?
I'm gonna say yes because I know them.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. New York Islanders. EJ.
Yikes.
I
You
agree.
would have told me the Islanders right now would be 5-10 and would be on a 9-game losing streak at the moment and be last in their division
Exactly, right?
and only 2 or 3 games away from being as bad as the Senators are right now. Who are
Yes.
the worst team.
Or
I would
awful.
have told you
Always awful.
and it's not good. The Islanders have some severe things to work on, and I can tell you right now that the arena is the least of their worries now that they have.
I know, right?
They have an aging core. They've got a lot of guys. Josh Bailey, especially, I personally think Josh Bailey has underperformed.
Mhm.
I think they're going to have to really do some work in the offseason because I think at this point, if they're going to continue to play the way they're playing and do what they're going to do with the GMs and all those decisions, and keep the core that they're not gonna make the playoffs. They won't smell the playoffs.
Exactly. I agree. It's weird because how good they've been the last couple of years. They picked it up. Like they had a stretch for a little bit where they were good, and now they're what did you say, 9-game losing streak? Like, what the hell? Doesn't make sense.
Not good. And the thing is, though, once again, I don't know how many times I could sneak this into the video that I'm a Dallas Stars fan, but I'll be the first one to tell you when they played Tampa Bay in the conference finals to see who was going to play Dallas in the finals in 2020. Right? I thought for sure. I didn't mind playing Tampa Bay.
Right.
I really didn't want to play the Islanders, and it's very sad on how we've gone from the Islanders are going to win a Stanley Cup to what is this?
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen
them
this
not
before.
being even close to the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's nuts.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're not coming close. I think
No.
they're out.
Ryan, what do you think of the Islanders?
I'm gonna say, well, he said a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna say no because it's a New York team, and all New York teams suck besides the Buffalo Bills and the New York and the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
That's valid.
Valid.
That's valid.
New York Rangers. I hate the Rangers so much. Let's let Ryan go first here. New York Rangers.
I'm gonna go with my previous statement. All New York teams suck.
Yeah, I hate the Rangers. EJ, Rangers.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. The Rangers are surging right now.
They
I know
are.
you don't want to hear that.
Me being a Flyers fan, that's why I hate them.
They're surging. And I'll tell you, though, and we'll get down to Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, but the Rangers right now are sitting in a spot that they have worked quite hard to be in. And it's a shame that Henrik Lundqvist is not around to be with them in this time. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if they had a Henrik Lundqvist right now, I think they might have unseated the Capitals.
Yeah.
They are currently on a 5-game win streak. They have the same win and loss, not counting the overtime, whatever. They have the same win and loss record as the first place Capitals.
Yes.
They're surging. So I think at this point, I think they will make it. I think they're going to drop a little bit. I think they're going to make it, though.
Yeah, I can definitely see it, too. All right, now let's go to the Philadelphia Flyers, my favorite team. Ryan, let's let you go first again because Ryan's the non-hockey fan. We'll let him go first for a little bit. What do you think, Ryan?
I'll say they'll make it.
Yeah.
Because
EJ?
it's the Flyers, and the Flyers were in the playoffs 2 years or last year or whatever the hell it was.
Flyers are a very intriguing and interesting hocky team to me because they have a lot of talent, and only putting up 20 points in the standings so far is
a little concerning.
A little bit concerning.
Yes.
But I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, they're on a 7-game losing streak right now.
Uh-huh.
But
looking
looking at their schedule, and I've been taking a look here at the schedule, they've got a lot of very winnable games. They play the Islanders multiple times a year.
Uh-huh.
They play the Devils multiple times a year.
Yes.
They're due to play the Senators, Canadiens, and Sabres
all
a couple
winnable
times
games.
a year. They're coming over to the Western Conference. They still have yet to play the Coyotes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, who suck.
Those are easy winnable games.
Who suck.
If they can pick up and play their game that they need to play, they need to buckle down and say, okay, we need to make the playoffs, and here's how we do it. We win the winnable, easy games. We're not asking you to beat Florida. We're not asking you to beat Toronto and Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not asking you to beat Minnesota or Calgary. We just win the winnable games, and I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think that's what they do.
Right.
Flyers are going to make the wild card.
Yes, I agree. Listen, that the team they have right now is very good, and they've had this team, and then obviously the additions of Cam Atkinson, Keith Yandel, all those guys that we got in the offseason, which I love. And
let me tell you something. Cam Atkinson
was a beast.
Pickup of the entire.
Biggest trade.
Cam Atkinson.
He's great. Let me tell you, he's playing really well in Philadelphia. Let me tell you, he really is. I love Cam Atkinson.
That's all he needed was a change of scenery. He started going downhill in Columbus, and he just like that in Philadelphia, he perked up immediately. I'm glad to see him shine.
I love him. He's great for the Flyers. All right, next, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ryan, Pittsburgh Penguins. Yes? Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be in it.
Okay. EJ.
Okay. Pittsburgh Penguins. So my father and I have very close ties to Pittsburgh. I'm a Pittsburgh fan in everything except for hockey. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's no bias here. The Penguins are kind of good right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are on a 3-game loss streak, but I'm going to be honest with you. With the goaltending that they're getting out of nowhere, let me just say, by Tristan Jarry, that guy is holding them together.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest with you, they have a great manager in Ron Hextall.
Trader.
And they've got some good things coming. Now, they're going to have some hardships along the way. They've got a couple older guys, Crosby, Malkin, that are aging. It's quite obvious that they're aging.
Yes,
however,
very obvious.
I think right now they're going to sit. I think they're going to hang on because of all the teams that are in the same division. They've got to be able to fall into. I think they're going to fall in the third spot.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but they are aging. It does show that they're aging, though. It really does. And yeah,
Exactly. And you can see that.
Yeah, and me and you, EJ, yeah, you're a big Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins fan, right? Like me. Yeah, I like the Flyers and the local Pens around where I live, guys. EJ goes to a lot of the games too, and when Jari was down here, he was a beast too.
Oh yes, and Jake, you and I were at the opening night game this year.
Yes,
right?
yes, we were.
And we saw they've got good goaltending, and they've got some. Let me tell you something. Biggest thing I think, biggest player that opening night game especially, and I think pretty much now he's still being a factor. Taylor Fadoon.
Yeah.
I mean, he came from Dallas. They picked him up from the Dallas Stars, so I was happy to see a Dallas Star in Wilkes-Barre. Okay.
Yep.
But I'm going to be honest. They've got some promising guys.
Yeah, they do.
Pittsburgh's got a good farm system, and it's coming up to the point where they're going to need to use it.
I agree.
And I feel comfortable saying Wilkes-Barre has guys from Wheeling that are also very good.
Yes,
they're going to come up.
ECHL.
Pittsburgh's got promise. I would not mess around with the Penguins.
Yes.
I wouldn't mess around with Pennsylvania hockey in general.
Yeah, PA strong, baby. All right, next, the Washington Capitals. Ryan, Washington Capitals.
No.
Okay. EJ, Washington Capitals.
I'm going to have to agree with them. I think the Capitals are going to fall. They're good right now.
That's a hot
Playing
take.
25 games. You've got 15 wins out of that. You've lost 10 games, but 6 of them come in overtime. So you get at least a point out of it. But let me be honest. The Capitals, man, they're tough. In their last 10 games, they are 6-2-2. And they've just recently won finally to get back on that streak. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Although they had a quick boost, and that's why they're up in the top of the standings.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're playing some very underwhelming hockey besides Ovechkin, who always plays out of it.
Oh, yeah. He's an ageless wonder.
Yeah. And honestly, unfortunately, Ovechkin is going to find the opportunity to bury some goals, but I don't think it's going to save the Capitals. I feel the Capitals are going to fall quite significantly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they stay afloat. I think they do. That's just my opinion here. All right. Now we're going to move on to the Atlantic Division. Now, for this episode, guys, since we had our whole big thing before this, of the Flag Football League, we're only going to do the Eastern Conference for this episode. But you know what? Since EJ's here, we're going to do the Dallas Stars. Well, he'll get into detail about his own team. That's something I didn't put in consideration. All right, let's go to the Atlantic Division. Boston Bruins. EJ, you can go first again to start here. Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins. This is a very, very intriguing
intriguing team, yes.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to make it. I really
another hot
do not
take.
think they're going to make it. I think right now where they sit at 6-4-0 in their last 10, they have a winning record in their last 10. They won, was it last night? It was a solid
at the time of this recording.
However, not enough. You've played 20 games. You've won just over 50%. And the 8 games you've dropped, you've played very underwhelming hockey, and there's still a lot of time for that to happen.
Right.
You still have to play teams like Toronto, Tampa Bay, and Florida.
Yes.
You have to
all
play
good
all
teams.
of them. They're in your division. You're going to play them, 6 times?
Yeah.
So it's tough. You've got to run into teams like the Capitals, the Rangers, and surging teams like the Penguins, the Flyers, and some teams on the Western Conference, such as the Wild, Blues, Flames, Oilers. They still have to play these teams.
Right, yeah.
And you play the Western Conference teams 2 times a year, 1 at home and 1 away.
Yeah.
You're going to have some tough times.
Some tough
I'm telling you
stretches.
right now. I think Boston is right now. I would be content as a Boston fan, but I would not have playoff hopes for the way they've been playing lately.
Yeah. Ryan, Boston Bruins.
Oh, they're in it all the way.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Go Boston.
Okay. All right, next we got, as it was said last year, the NHL's version of a dumpster fire, the Buffalo Sabres. EJ, what do you think about the Sabres?
Okay, well, let's just cut this one kind of short. I know I go on bird walks here, but let's just cut this kind of short. They're not making it. They are, if the Atlantic Division has 8 teams, they'll come in 11th. They are 5-15-1. currently, they have 11 points and they've played 21 games.
That's bad.
They are 2-8-0 in their last 10. That's terrible.
That's horrible.
They are bad. Somehow.
Sounds like the Detroit Lions.
Like
I know.
negative first. It's terrible.
Yeah. Terrible. Ryan, Buffalo
Terrible
Sabres.
stuff.
Do I have to answer this, man? I can tell they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
They're the Detroit Lions of hockey.
Yeah. Pretty much. They really are, though, if you think about it. All right, next. Speaking of Detroit, the Detroit Red Wings. EJ, Detroit Red Wings.
Let me tell you something. This is the most promising hockey team in the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Red Wings. They currently sit in a playoff spot. They sit in the first wild card spot. And let me tell you something. They are playing like they deserve more than a playoff spot, like more than a wild card spot.
Right. Especially for how bad they did.
They have 24 games played. They have 27 points. They have more points than they have games played.
Yeah, that's good. That's a
9
good sign.
losses and 3 overtimes.
Uh-huh.
Here's the thing. They've got a rookie by the name of Morris Sider. He played in Grand Rapids for a little bit. I think, Jake, you and I know about that when he has his little stints coming to Wilkes-Barre when he was in the minor leagues.
Mm-hmm. Grand Rapids makes a couple, 2-3 trips down here.
I remember it was because it was the first game that I ever brought my girlfriend to when I was introducing her to hockey.
Right.
And Moritz Seider was one of the only ones to score a shootout goal in that game. However,
I think I was at that game,
lighting it up in Detroit. I'm telling you right now. He had a very nice overtime winner. I'm not sure if it was earlier today or last night. I got the notification on my phone about it, and I was saying, and I watched it. I don't know if it was earlier today or last night, but man, he is just on fire. And as well as that entire team, they're gelling. They're looking like the Red Wings that haven't missed the playoffs in 19 seasons.
Right.
Lately, it's not been that way, but now I'm glad it is. Detroit's going to make the playoffs.
All right. Ryan, Detroit Red Wings.
I think they'll make the playoffs.
Okay. I like your short answers, but I like how EJ knows what he's talking about. No offense, Ryan.
I know. I don't know hockey.
Yeah, that's what makes this funny. All right, Florida Panthers.
It's all right.
It's okay. Florida Panthers. You could start with this one, Ryan. Florida Panthers.
Panthers. No.
Okay. EJ, Florida Panthers.
Oh, silly little boy. Florida Panthers, man. They are probably going to the Stanley Cup Finals this year.
Oh, that's the Florida. Oh.
There's not a lot that needs to be said. They are first place in the Eastern Conference right now.
The whole conference.
That is how good they are. 37 points in 24 games.
Man really just called me a silly boy.
17-4-3. Let me just.
Because you silly.
I mean, their goals against this year, they only have 67 goals against. They got 93 goals for. So not only are they the best team in the league record-wise and points-wise, but they score the most goals in the Eastern Conference.
That's
and
incredible.
Their goals against is in the middle of the pack. So it's not the worst. And they're currently on a 3-game win streak. I would not ever want to play the Panthers. And I think adding that guy from Calgary, like Sammy Weegar came from Calgary. A couple other players coming in trades last year that just only got to play the playoff series against Tampa, which was a fluke. I'm just going to be honest.
Yes.
They have it coming this year, and they've got Tampa Bay right where they want them.
Yeah, I like that.
Panthers.
I hate Tampa Bay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Montreal Canadiens, Ryan. No? Okay.
The Canadians can suck my butt.
Okay. Yeah, Canadians.
Just because they're Canadian.
You don't like Canadian people?
Screw the Canadians. This is America.
Well,
Shut up, you redneck. All right. You say Montreal Canadiens.
gonna be honest with you. I agree with the fact that he said no. Well, the rest of that's kind of debatable. No, the Canadians are not going to make it. And I'm kind of mad at them because two things, what they did to Carey Price and also the fact that they got my hopes up in the Stanley Cup Finals and they lost.
Right.
However, I suspect Tampa cheated, but we won't get into that. That'll be for a later episode, Jake, if you need something to talk about.
Got it. I'll keep that in mind. That's another interesting story there.
They're not. They're playing like it. 2-7-1 in their last 10 games on a two-game losing streak. 14 points in 25 games. Terrible.
Yeah, I agree with you. Montreal, no. All right, next we have the Ottawa Senators. Ryan, Ottawa Senators.
I don't know what that is or where that is, but I'm gonna say no.
Okay, EJ, Ottawa Senators.
I'll tell you. Ottawa, remember how I said Buffalo could manage to get like worse than last place?
Yeah.
Well, Ottawa can manage to get a worse placement than Buffalo can.
Yeah.
They are terrible.
They're
Ottawa won their
personally
last game.
worst team.
But when you have 5 wins and you've played 21 games and you've only won 5,
That's bad.
you've lost more than 75% of your games, just pack it up.
Pack it up.
Just pack it up.
Yes.
Tank for I don't know who's going to be drafted this year quite yet. We have to see what's going to happen in the CHL.
Right.
But I mean, you got to do what the Sabres did and talk about and tank for Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power. Well, Senators need to do that because their glory days are over. Danny Heatley no longer plays for you.
Mhm.
All these other great players that you've had. Mark Mathot no longer plays for you. Clark MacArthur, I don't think he even plays for Ottawa anymore. I think he was right to get out too. Matt Murray is holding on, but he's just not able to win games in Ottawa.
I agree. I forgot he was even there.
My dad threw a hissy fit when they traded Matt Murray.
Yeah.
Because he liked Matt Murray.
Yeah.
And I was like, man is washed. Like, he's not good.
Yeah, no.
So, whatever.
It's whatever. All right. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. Ryan, Tampa Bay Lightning.
Well, I'm gonna say it's Tampa Bay, so yeah, I'll go with it.
Okay. EJ, Tampa Bay Lightning.
Let me tell you something. Dallas Stars fan here. I hate Tampa Bay.
Me too.
I hate them
so much.
with passion.
Mhm.
However, they are going to make the playoffs as they always do. Because it's Tampa. Currently, right now, they're sitting in a playoff spot. Regardless, they're sitting in the third in the Atlantic, so they'll be automatically 6 seed or higher if the playoffs were to start today.
Yeah.
They've got 30 points in 22 games, so that's also pretty decent. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10, so that's quite dominant as well. Win streak, not a win streak quite yet, but definitely. I mean, you want to talk about goals against average? Their goals against average, both of their goaltenders, solid stuff. So, and I would never want to play Vasilevsky, whether he's got an inflated chest pad or not.
He's good.
I never want to play him.
You really think they're cheating, huh?
I do. I swear to you, they cheated last year against Montreal. Yeah, I'm not saying. Okay, I'll be the first one to admit I am salty that they beat Dallas. I am salty they beat Dallas. It was a hard-fought series, and there was some salary cap stuff going on. Last year, there was some salary cap stuff going on, and they were totally – I could get into it. I'm not going to. Tampa Bay, they're going to make the playoffs, and I hope they lose in the first round.
Me too.
Done.
Okay. Now let's go with our last team in the Eastern Conference, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ryan.
I'll say yes.
Okay. EJ.
Okay. Yeah, if there's any team – so the Panthers, yeah, they're the best in the Eastern Conference.
By far.
Any team I would not want to play right now, if I had to choose only one team that I wouldn't see on my schedule right now, it would be the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's why. They are like a brick wall. I'm sorry.
I saw it live.
The Hurricanes and the Maple Leafs, both
in
goals
Philly
against. They're the two lowest, and they are lighting it up. They are in their last 10. They are 9-1. They have 9 wins in their last 10. They're on a 5-game win streak. That's insane.
Yes.
They've only let 52 goals in this year. Just to put it into perspective, the only team that's beaten them is 50 with the Hurricanes.
Yeah, who are also really good.
I mean, you look at what happened last year in the playoffs with Montreal stunning Toronto. They just can't seem to make it in the playoffs. But let me tell you something. Playoffs start right now. They are probably at least making the Eastern Conference Finals. I would not want to play them. They are totally making the playoffs. They're not going to drop.
Yes.
I've learned too much from following the Leafs for a little bit. They're not going to make. They're going to make the playoffs, and they're not dropping.
I agree. All right, so now we don't have much time left here on the show. We're going to do one more team for EJ because he is a Dallas Stars fan. But we'll let Ryan do his thing here with the Dallas Stars. What are you thinking about the Dallas Stars, Ryan?
Stars more like Mars because they're not in this universe. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I can see them probably making it. I don't know.
Okay. Good input. All right, EJ, let's hear you talk about your favorite team while we have a little bit of time left here.
Okay, so list of things that are inconsistent. The Dallas Stars are not on this list. However, my computer and my Wi-Fi are very inconsistent.
Yes.
What does that have to do with the Dallas Stars? Well, the Dallas Stars were inconsistent to start this year. But I can tell you right now, they are on a hot streak. They've won their last 6 games in convincing fashion. Currently, they're sitting in a playoff spot when they were sitting in second to last place a couple weeks ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago, they were second to last. They were below the Blackhawks, which we will talk about in the Western Conference video, which I believe we were going to do some other time.
Maybe, yeah, possibly.
Possibly. And you know what? If we do it, I'll talk about the Stars again because the Stars are very bipolar and they decide they want to change.
Yes.
But for right now, Dallas Stars, man, 21 games played. We are, if I'm not mistaken, 12-7-2. I think we've only lost 2 in OT. 26 points. I know we have 26 points. Our goals against is solid. I think Braden Holtby is he's doing better than he was in Vancouver. I can tell you that much. He was lights out a couple games. We've got the thing that scares me in goaltenders is we've got 3 good goaltenders. We got 4 good goaltenders actually. We have Ben Bishop, we've got Anton Hudobin, we've got Braden Holtby, and now we've got Jake Ottinger, who is starting to really show. So 2 of those goalies are going to end up leaving eventually. I think Bishop's gone. I think Bishop's his career is probably over.
Yeah, I agree. He's old.
Hudobin. What do you do with Hudobin and Holtby? It's one of the 2. Obviously, they're not going to get rid of Ottinger. If they do, they're stupid.
Yeah.
He's very good. He's very young. He could be the future of the team. He could be a younger version of Edward Belfour, who used to play for the Dallas Stars and actually won them their Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And we'll debate the Stanley Cup if you ever want to as well. If you also need other things to talk about, I could debate that all day too.
There we go.
But Dallas Stars making the playoffs as a wild card, they need to hold. They're in a tough division. And I think, Jake, you might agree with me that the Central Division is probably the toughest division in all of hockey.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Minnesota, you've got St. Louis, Winnipeg, you've got Colorado, and Nashville, because you don't know what Nashville's going to do. They always teeter. Sometimes they play very good hockey. Sometimes they play very ugly hockey, like their winter class or their Stadium State Series jerseys this year. They play ugly hockey. You don't know what you're getting. And so Dallas really has a lot of stuff that they need to do in order to stay where they are. But I think right now they need to, and I think we need a coaching change that might shake some stuff up a little bit too. I think Rick Bowness needs to get out. Lost. And that's all I have to say about that. Our scorers are scoring, our goalies are making saves, and here's hoping.
Yep. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up the episode here. Thank you, EJ, for cooperating here with your slow computer and everything on Instagram. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, no problem. We're all good.
Yeah. And Ryan, thank you for coming on, even though you know nothing about hockey. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And make sure you follow the WFFL FFL on Instagram. Link is in the description of this video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.